Hello, hello, and welcome back to another car conversation or episode of Make America Think Again. If you can just hear my voice out there on the internet. And my handles are here at the bottom. Shauna V is in victory, O is in orange. It is in Nancy, it is in Nancy. I don't know why I glitched there for a second. And then I have Instagram at Shauna Vaughn, and then also my Cash App is here, $ 1111 Oracle. That is $ 1111 Oracle. And bless a sister if you want to bless a sister. Oh, Shane S. Thank you again. Shane S. Top donor again this week. So thank you. And then also for everyone who has just complimented and thanked me for the information. I am just like you. Working, living life, doing my thing, but I'm also paying attention to all of this. And I know everyone does not. So I figure, I'm trying to stay informed. So why not help you stay informed? Right? Because we got to work together through this moment. Oh my gosh. All right. So I came on actually to just talk to you about Chuck Schumer fucking up and letting us down. But all this shit has happened on a Saturday. This is also my birthday weekend, by the way. I should be out enjoying my birthday, but all this shit is happening. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So just today, just this morning, Felon 47 apparently is implementing the travel ban. So travel ban 2.0, which will include 43 different countries. There are different levels, level red, orange, and yellow. Go online, you can check it out. The top countries that are in the red, I believe that they already have dictatorships, so they kind of make sense, the majority of those, but yeah, another travel ban. So that was the first thing I heard about. And then earlier this week, which I touched on in the last episode, I believe, the one student, I think it's Mahmoud Khalil, I don't want to mess up his name, who was snatched up by, the icy ones. Well, there have been two more Americans, two more green card carrying Americans who have been snatched up by the icy folks. And let me say this. So, because just to make sure people understand, when you have a green card, you are legally residing in the United States for a long-term period of time. So, I mean, it's different than a visa. So a visa, people get work visas like Elon Musk did, by the way, a student visa, and he overextended his stays. Those have time limits. The green card is a long-term. You are considered a legal resident of the United States, okay, with the green card. So these other students had green cards as well. The first student that I talked about, snatched up, wife didn't know, attorney didn't know where he was for a while. Supposedly, again, I don't know if this has been confirmed yet, but supposedly he's in Louisiana being held. A judge put basically a hold on, they were trying to deport him. So a judge put down a hold on him being sent anywhere. But now there are two other students, two other young people. This last one is alleging that they were tortured. So stopped in the airport, forced to strip naked, to take a cold shower, then thrown back in a chair, where the person was refused medications. They also were forced to give up their green card, give over the green card. So now we have allegations of torture along with just snatching up, I mean, essentially Americans. They weren't born here, but they have permission to be here as long-term residents. And that should bother everyone. That should concern every single person, because if it can happen to them, What's stopping it from happening to you? And we also have to take note of the fact that this is also a scare tactic, because it is my understanding so far that all of these young people, these three young people, were involved in protesting on behalf or in support of Palestine. And that is why they are being targeted. So that infringes on their freedom of speech, which means they could possibly infringe on my freedom of speech. So that should concern all of you, no matter whether or not you agree with them or not. Maybe you are pro-Israel, maybe you're a Zionist, but the ability to publicly speak about how you feel, what your values are, what you believe in, is being stifled. And they're making a public display of it. They went literally to the first young man's dorm and picked him up, rifled through, going through the dorm looking for him. He was a grad student, getting ready to graduate in May from Columbia. So we should all be very, very concerned about what's happening here with the icy folks just going up and snatching up Americans, essentially Americans, because they have green cards. Moving on. Also, this happened today. So the last student was today. I believe the second student, young lady, was a day or two ago. I got so sidetracked with the Chuck Schumer stuff. The young lady, I believe she has gone back to Canada. But again, another student in support of Palestine. So the other thing I saw this morning before I started recording and trying to do something totally different, the US launched an attack on militant sites in Yemen. Now, this is the individual in the White House proclaimed himself to be against war. He went on and on about how our soldiers were removed from Afghanistan and how that was wrong, the way it was done, and how, we shouldn't have our troops anywhere, we fighting for whatever. But now you're attacking Yemen. And I want to say this. I was already wondering why, you saw with Zelensky, and there have been other moments where he kept throwing around this idea of World War III in conversation. And I was like, why does this dude keep bringing up World War III? Well, now we know. Now we know what it looks like he had in his mind, because he always tells on himself. He always tells on himself. That's another thing that I forgot to add to the Chuck Schumer video. Right before Chuck Schumer and his cohorts, right before they voted, he went back to the podium and said, or everybody got wind of he had changed his mind, like he was going to vote in favor of this CR. Felon 47 took to Truth Social to compliment him. And I was like, dude, if this is not a red flag and a sign for you, just a blaring sign that this is the wrong thing to do, I don't know what else would be. The fact that this individual, Felon 47, is complimenting you on your decision should let you know, should tell you everything you need to know about that decision that is wrong. And you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it. So I digress, but so much going on. I forgot to add that to the other video. So yes, U.S. launches attack on militant sites in Yemen. Why, you ask? Again, back to capitalism, because he's upset that they are blocking shipping. And the reason that the Yemen people are blocking the shipping is on behalf of the Palestinians. That was their part of pushing back on Israel committing genocide in Gaza. That's why the people of Yemen are doing that. So that's the third thing that I saw. That's tied back to capitalism. And also, he posted about this, of what he was doing and executing in Yemen at the same time that fighters were in the air going to attack Yemen. Does that seem smart to you? Does it seem smart to put out into the world that you were sending some of your fighters, Americans, to go attack this one location, and they are en route to do so? Does that seem like a smart move to announce that to the world? Moving on. Also, I don't have a lot of details about this one, but apparently they're claiming to have taken, I'm talking about the Felon 47 regime. They have said that they have taken out the second top leader in ISIS. Either yesterday or today that happened. They took out that person. I'll have to circle back to that one and get some more information. Also this week, maybe 2 days ago, he called, Felon 47, from a podium, called CNN and MSNBC illegal and corrupt. So just know that that is the setup for the attack on the media. Just know that. That's what's getting ready to follow. He's setting it up for his minions, his people, some of these MAGA people here that are listening to me, for them to believe and think, oh, CNN and MSNBC, they're after our leader. So we got to go out and protect him. We got to go out and attack these people. And it might not be physical attack. It might be the threats. It might be the phone call. But whatever, he's targeting those folks. And then also he's setting it up to wherever they're trying to go to cut out more and more media being able to follow and report on what they're doing. The AP News got back in the room in the press conference. And just this week, the little blonde, she's really bitchy. She seemed really bitchy and irritated all the time. I can't even remember her name. But anyways, so she was like, asked one question. She felt insulted because she didn't know what she was talking about. And then she's like, oh, I shouldn't have given AP News a question anyway. How about you know your stuff? How about you know what the hell is going on? How about you do that? Ooh. So anyways, that's the setup. That's the setup for the attack on the media, or the continued attack on our media here in the US. And then he also invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. This has only been enacted 4 different times in American history. And apparently he is doing so he can deport more individuals quicker. Now, the report I heard was that he was going to focus on this gang that is out of Venezuela and maybe Nicaragua. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. Trende Aragua, I believe. I don't know. All I know is we've already seen 3 Americans snatched up by the icy folks. And now he's invoking this Alien Enemies Act in order to enable him to pick up more folks. And he's saying there's a focus on gang members, this specific gang out of specific areas over the age of 14. However, we just saw them pick up American students with green cards and try to deport them. So how many of you out there are naive enough to believe that only these gang members, these supposed gang members, will be picked up and deported? We also saw just in the IC operations, they've picked up other Americans aside from these 3 students. They've already done this. So why would you not think that other Americans are going to get mixed in, caught up in the mix? So that's just today. That's just one day. Like, there was other shit earlier this week that I had planned to talk about. And then all this happens today. And again, I've already talked about it, the chaos, the confusion, that is the goal. We need to be coming up with some stuff that we can hit them, back and forth, like create a whack-a-mole situation so they don't know what the hell we're doing, just like we don't know what the hell they're doing. But it's all by design. Tanking the economy is all by design. Keeping you chaotic, feeling crazy, feeling like you're getting punked every day. That's all by design. They want to wear you down and strip you of everything at the same time so they can have total control. And if you don't just die, then you become part of their labor force. Whether you do that by going into a job or you do that from a penitentiary. That's my belief, and I'm sticking to it. I believe that's where they're trying to take this. If we allow them, that's the key. If we allow them, because this white supremacy, white delusion, like they would rather tear everything down and be kings of rubble, being kings of crap, versus sharing the wealth with everyone, with America how it is today. And it's not great, it's still flawed. And letting everybody eat, letting everybody be happy. That delusional level of hate and insecurity that somebody's taking something away from you and somebody's getting over on you, or somebody's getting more than you or better than you. They would rather see America ripped to shreds and trashed and burnt down to rubble, versus us all living collectively, harmoniously. Your kid's okay, my kids are okay. They don't want that. So the rest of us sane folks, we got to collectively come together and continue to fight. Because if we don't, the people in DC have already let us know we can't depend on them. We can't depend on a Chuck Schumer. We can't depend on a Mitch McConnell who's on his way out too. We can't depend on other individuals who, just because they got elected, does not make them leaders. We are the leaders that we've been waiting on. And it's time for us to act. It's time for us to lead.